Hello. And so I am still, it's the same day. It's the same day, and I just unboxed my fireplace, but it got me thinking about a few things that I really don't discuss very often. Or maybe I do. Maybe I do, and I just don't recognize it. But with all that's going on in the world right now, it's really important that you have a brain. That you just have a brain. That you don't allow for news, social media, other people, or whatever to think for you. That you actually take the time to sit down sometimes, turn everything off. As much as I love y'all watching my YouTube channel, sometimes you need to turn off everything and sit and actually think. Think about what you like, what you don't like, what you believe, what you don't believe. Think. I feel like we live in a society now where it's just so much information. It's so much people giving their opinion. It's so much of this and that. If you're not grounded, for me, in the Word of God, honey, people can sell you a bag of rocks, okay? You really have to use your God-given common sense in this time. I remember when this whole pandemic thing started and they ran around telling people that masks don't work and you should not use them. When that goes against every bit of common sense. Not saying it's going to work 100%, not saying it's foolproof. I'm not saying any of that. But even as a baby, you'll see a baby, if they smell something bad or someone goes to hit them, try and cover their face or cover their mouth if something stinks, or cover their nose if something stinks. Even instinctively, we do that. So, I was in the medical field before I started being at home with my girls, and I worked in urgent care, and I was the first person you seen when you came through the doors, okay? Let me tell you, if the mask did not work, I would have been sick all the time, because anyone who knows about urgent care knows that people go there when they're sick and don't want to go to the emergency room. So normally 9 times out of 10, the stuff that we get at urgent care is, dog bites or ankle sprains or people getting sick, colds, or, little minor stuff that can be handled in that situation that doesn't need the big machines and doctors and all that stuff that a hospital needs. We usually have one physician, a couple of phlebotomists, medical assistants, and we go for it. At the practice I was at, my doctor, she only had 2 or 3 medical assistants, which I was, and then 2 phlebotomists, which I was as well, and that was really it. And we ran the whole ship. It's just strange to me that people believe that. Meanwhile, they said that all the hospitals and everyone else who really did need it first were buying up the PPE. Okay. Then once they had enough, then they said, oh, we don't think that it's just a waste of time to wear a mask. We actually think you should wear a mask. Now, I was saying wear a mask from the very beginning, because common sense tells me, even if someone goes to cough or sneeze, you do this. You block your face, your mouth, and your nose. That's just instinctively, right? So things like that, I just really want people to start thinking. I think this poor generation that's come up after my generation, I just feel so sorry for them, because we didn't have all of these distractions like you guys have if you're, 25 and under. We didn't have all these distractions. We didn't have no, we had video games, the Atari, we had Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boys finally came along, we had stuff like that. But we didn't have, we had pagers. We barely got dial-up. I mean, I barely got dial-up when I got in high school, barely. You get the AOL little card in the mail, but you only could be on there in the little chat rooms until your mom didn't want you on the phone no more, because it was only one line that you could use. You had to plug, and that's if your mom let you do it. My mom was kind. She allowed us to do it. But I'm saying we didn't have so many distractions. We had to practice our soft skills daily. So if we went somewhere, we had to practice our soft skills and our communication skills. If we wanted to go to our friend's house and speak to a friend, we had to actually go to the friend's house, which means we had to have an idea of direction. When no Google Maps, we had to go to the friend's house, know how to get there safely, know how to avoid danger, get there, knock on the door, and when the person opened the door, we had to be kind, cordial, and polite. Say, Mrs. Johnson or whomever may is Amaya here? Is this person here? May I speak to this person if we were making a phone call? We had to do that. We had to actually be kind in order to get what it is that we were seeking to get. Okay? And on the way to the friend's house was a journey. It was a trip. So you might learn something new on the journey. You might run into someone that you know and they link up and now y'all both going to the friend's house, or there was always some type of exploration and journey and creativity and fun involved for the most part. Okay, same thing with the telephone. If you called someone's home, you didn't get no direct phone to that person like these kids do. You actually had to speak to a parent or a big brother or a sister, and may I please speak to this person, or as hi, this is Mrs. such and such, is hi, this is such and such, ma'am, miss ma'am, can you please say miss and or ma'am, or can you call the person by their last name? Let's just show a little bit of respect here. These kids will call you by your first name. Ain't no miss, ma'am, or nothing involved. And it's all because they grew up in a world where they didn't have to deal with any of the things that most of us who 30 and up had to deal with. When we were riding in a car with our moms and dads, we had to listen to what they were listening to. If we were watching TV, we had to watch what they were watching. Now, not saying that color TVs didn't come along and that my mom didn't buy me one, because she did. I had a remote control color TV for my room. I think it was like a 10, 12 inch. And I was super excited because they were new and they came out, and I had one, and I didn't know too many people that did. I had one in my room and my brother had one in his room. Okay. And when that Sony Walkman came out, the yellow one, yeah, we had that. And so we had things that could like help us zone out and do our own thing. But there was a big chunk of time where we actually had to do what our parents were doing. We had to be involved. We had to be engaged. We had to be respectful, not just to them, but other people in the community as well. Everywhere you went, every little step you took, somebody was watching you. People that went to school with your parents that you didn't even know was peeking out their window watching you walk down the street. And if you got to cutting up too much, your parents would hear about it. This generation of kids, some of these people don't even want you to speak to their children. Don't say nothing to my child. Don't say nothing to my child. It wasn't like that back in our day. The neighbor would bring you home and be like, look, I caught her all pinned up like this. I caught her doing this, this, and this. Okay? It wasn't no, don't say nothing to my child. My child's an angel. And you this and you that. We didn't deal with all of that. Okay? The parents had other parents back, and they got us kids set straight. Okay? We had respect for our adult people, even if we didn't know them. Even if it was a drunk down the street, we still were respectful. If he saw the drunk down the street saw us doing something we had no business doing, okay, it would be like, hey, y'all kids get from around there. Okay, we might say something after we walk away, but we'd still listen. These kids hitting grandmas, fighting mothers. I mean, just saying, it stems from parents not attending to their kids, parents not spending enough time with their kids, and the kids really living in a virtual world. And now those kids have grown up. They're grown now. My daughter's part of that generation. She's grown. But she had a real sheltered type mama. I sheltered her a lot from a lot of things. Yes, she had a phone, but she wasn't on it every 5 seconds. She is now, I'm sure. Hi, Maya, I love you. But the point is, I made sure she had some guidance, understanding, morals, values, principles, ethics, own mind. Those things are important. Those things are important as an adult, because unfortunately what I feel we have now in our society is a whole bunch of kids who don't know how to lose, because everyone gets a participation trophy. Okay, that started a generation or so ago. When I was growing up, wasn't no participation trophy. Okay, first place, second place, maybe third place, that was it. And sometimes it wasn't even that, it was win or lose. Wasn't no participation. No, the whole push to make you want to win next time is that you lost. I think that's why the suicide rate is up so high. Not saying that, please don't send me no emails about, well, My kid committed suicide, and I'm not talking about your kid. I'm not talking about any particular person. I'm just saying as a whole, us as a whole in this United States, we have not, us parents, me include myself in that. There are some things I should have taught my daughter that I feel now looking back, now that she's grown and moved on and out of the house and married and all that jazz. There's some things that I feel I should have really pushed a little bit harder that I did not, because I was trying to make sure she had a nice, cushy, comfy life, you know? And unfortunately, you know, hard work, like laborious work, hard work is not really a thing with this new generation. And if it is, you know how they say your gift can get you in rooms, but your integrity has to keep you there. So a lot of these younger kids and teenagers are, you know, they're very gifted in what they do, but they don't have any integrity or morals. They don't have any soft skills because they're on their phone all day, and their communication, I feel like it's like what they would call ebonics, which I feel is just fine, but I feel like a lot of them speak text ebonics. And when they actually have a conversation with someone, they don't look them in the face. They're rude, and they're always on their phone instead of actually putting their phone down and having the conversation with that person. Every time their phone makes any sound, they attend to their phone. I'm a little old school. I don't like that. So I don't like that. Unless you're looking to check on a child or something like that. It's an important phone call. Every time your phone make a sound, doesn't mean you have to jump to it every time it do. Little things like that, I think, and the mound, an excessive amount of information, good, bad, ugly, whatever, has really, in my opinion, made a lot of us numb. So numb to where even though we see the truth right in front of our face, we'll deny it, because we're also used to, as a society, being able to say we don't believe in something, and because we personally don't believe it, in our little world, that means it doesn't exist. You know, prime example, people say they don't believe in God. Well, I don't believe in God. And they think that's it. I don't believe in God. That's the end of that. That's really not the end of that. Just because you don't believe doesn't mean it's not true. So, you know, that's like me saying, I don't believe that there's gravity, and I walk off a building. Well, I can say that, and I can walk off the building, but that gravity is going to grab a hold of me and pull me right on down. And I think that's kind of what's going on with this whole coronavirus thing, is that people are trying to treat this coronavirus like they treat anything else in their life. They state that they don't believe in it, and because they stated that they don't believe in it, somehow that makes it not true. Hence, if they say they don't believe in it, and they don't believe in wearing masks, and they don't believe that it's even a thing, they think it's all a propaganda, blah, 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 yada, 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 that's the case, and they can just go out and do what they want. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone because I'm rambling now. But my heart is heavy because I hate to see people, especially good people. I hate to see people in period, but especially good people, end up harmed or hurt or putting someone in their family in jeopardy because of what they so-called don't believe. Okay, so that leads me to self-care during this time of quarantine. Lord Jesus, please do some self-care. Mothers of all these kids that are with you 24 hours, 7 days a week, and won't even let you use the bathroom, take a bath, or even go to sleep at night without them coming and crawling in your bed, talking about they can't go to sleep and they're hungry and they're tired and all the rest. Mothers, I commend you. Bravo. Fathers who are doing it, because I'm sure there are some, I commend you. Bravo. Because it's no joke to be in a house with a child all the time. Now, just because you're in the house with them don't necessarily mean you're spending time with them. I would implore for you mothers to spend an extra little bit of time with the kid throughout the day if you're not already spending so much time with them. Because what I've been watching is that a lot of kids are pretty much, they're at home with their parent, but their parent's not really attending to them, which is kind of sad. So they're still not, even though the parents in the house, they're not getting any more attention than what they were getting before their parents were working all the time outside of the house. And I think right now is a special time where people should just really take full advantage of being able to spend time with their family. Because once all this is said and done and everybody run back to work or whatever, then you're going to be back on the grind, back on the hustle, seeing your kid 2-3 hours a day. Because really that's all you see them. If you drop them off at school at 7:30, you don't get home to 6-7 o'clock. You see them for 2 to 3 hours before they go to bed. That's if they don't have an after school program or activity. Let's just be honest, okay? So right now, if you have that time, I know this whole situation sucks, but if you have some time where you can spend it with your kids, you know, doing some activities or just getting to know them better, get them out of those phones. My girls, my two younger kids, they're 10 and 8, they don't have no phone. Now, my first daughter, she was 7 when she got her first phone, but it didn't do all the stuff these phones do. It was just a basic phone. She can call me or her daddy. That was it. You know, me, her daddy, and her grandma. That was it. These phones, my kids will not have one of these phones. Yeah, we're just not gonna do it yet. They probably won't have one until about 14, 15, maybe. Because for one, they really don't need one because their mama's always somewhere very close and near. And for two, it's too much access to things that they don't need to have right now or know about right now. It's just too much filth, in my opinion, that they can get to. Even when they're watching like their little YouTube slime videos and all that, I'm watching to see what they're watching. Okay, but self-care, because we are doing so much extra here, trying to be teachers, mamas, maids, wives, husbands, all this stuff. Do some self-care. Try your best to get away and have some time for you, with you, by you, for you. Okay, very important to do that. And keep a journal. I wish I would have kept a journal at the beginning of this year of this craziness. That would have been something for my kids to be able to look back and read that. But take care of you, because you can't take care of anyone else if you don't take care of you. I learned that the hard way. Okay, and find some things to do. This is a perfect time if you have the time. I know it's stressful. I know how it feels to not have a job or have an eviction notice on your thing. I know how it feels to be with no lights. I've been there, done that. I started early, so I made a lot of mistakes, and trust me, I get it. Do the best you can do with what you got. Okay, here we go with the back to the wrapped in scraps things. Repurpose, recycle, reuse. Do the best you can with whatever it is you have. So if you are feeling closed in, if you are feeling stressed out, if you are feeling bored, if you're feeling antsy, agitated, if you're feeling depressed, start with something small. This is what, and I'm not feeling all of that. I am feeling a little bit antsy because I'm just like ready to do something, but I got enough to do around here. So here's what I say to people who don't know what to do. Some people say, I don't have a hand or a nick for decor. I don't really like cooking. I really don't have a hobby. That's fine. But what you do have is you got places where you put things. You got places where you put your clothes, your cleaning products, your condiments, your whatever. You got drawers is what I'm saying. You got drawer cabinets and closets. Okay, and being that you're at home right now and you need some type of therapy anyway, because we all do. Don't say I don't need therapy. We all do. Therapy is a very healthy thing to have in your life. We all need some therapy, but you can get some cleaning therapy. Here's what you can do. Every day, or at least Monday through Friday, or every 2 days, or once a week, whichever you prefer, take one drawer in your house. One kitchen drawer, one bathroom closet, or cabinet, or whatever, okay? Go through that drawer, clean it, purge it, take all the stuff out that you don't need or want, maybe sell some things, and clean it up. Do that every day or every other day or however you set your schedule up, and you're gonna start to feel better because you're getting out the clutter. You're cleaning the clutter, you're making your environment more clean. A more clean environment definitely kind of massages a more cleaner mental stability, okay? Just make you feel better, So, I'm not going so fast down the street. So I would encourage you to start going through your drawers. If you don't have a decor or arts and craft bone in your body, that's okay. You can organize and clean and purge, and it will give you the same results. When I'm crafting, when I'm organizing, when I'm painting, all of that, that is all stress relief. That is all something to help me get rid of some of my stress or my deep thoughts. And while I'm doing these things, I'm thinking. While I'm painting with each stroke, I'm thinking about what I want. Am I where I want to be? What do I want? Am I doing what I want? How do I feel about what I'm doing? Am I happy? And you know, all these thoughts go through my mind as I'm painting, and it's very therapeutic. So I encourage you all to get moving. Don't just sit there and be mad and look at the news. No, let's get up in them drawers. Don't act like you don't have them. We all got that hair drawer. We all have the hair drawer. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be doing my bathroom tomorrow. We all have a hair drawer, especially if you are a woman of my ethnicity. Most of us got a hair drawer full of supplies that we don't even use, that we can go through, purge, 2 half bottles of the same product when we can pour one in the other bottle and save some space under our sink and throw that trash away. Things can be done, okay? So I'm just saying that because I just feel right now, especially with it coming toward the end of the year, Christmas coming, people are kind of sad because they didn't get to spend Thanksgiving with their family. A lot of people are losing people. A lot of people are sick. A lot of people are just tired of being in the house. A lot of people are just sick of just dealing with the never knowing what's going to happen next, or when is this going to be over, or, you know, all of these thoughts are running through all of our minds. And a good way to kind of cope with that is to get busy doing something, okay? And it's good exercise. Keep her moving. Good exercise, okay? And give it a try, okay? My cup. Inspire. I think I got this from the dollar store. Nothing like some good old coffee. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. Stay encouraged, you guys. I know this is a hard time. This is a sucky time for a lot of people. You know, it's hard, and you would have to be absolutely heartless to see what everyone who's struggling is dealing with and not have a care. You know, personally, in my home, we haven't had any issues. Man, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. We haven't had any issues. God has been so good. We haven't had any issues. Not saying that troubles don't come, because we know that in the Word it says that things do happen to those who love God, and, you know, it happens. But thank God we haven't had any issues. We haven't lost anything. We ain't lost a job. As a matter of fact, we've been making, I think we've probably made more money, that we've actually made. Not just talking about the Corona check. I'm talking about money that we've made. More money this year than we have probably in years. At least in the last 5 years. From when my husband was overseas working in Afghanistan and over in Dubai, okay? I think this is the most we've made in a nice amount of time. I want you guys to just, like I always say, stay wrapped in scraps, especially right now. Repurpose, recycle, reuse everything that you can. Keep your mind right, okay? Stay hopeful. Pray. Thank God for what you do have. Thank God for the people you do have. You know, this has been a hard year. I lost a very, 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 very valuable person this year. Very valuable person to my whole world this year. As a matter of fact, outside of my mother and my siblings, my kids, this person was that next person on the list that, you know, you have those levels of importance. That person is like, she's in top tier, okay? And I still haven't even begun to process it. I think I'm just walking around. I know it happened. Was there while it was happening. Saw it up and close and in detail. Like literally at the hospice right there. Saw the ashes, touched them. Still in denial. Still haven't processed it. Okay? And it'll be a year and a couple more months. Still haven't really processed it. know it happened, and I'm in such disbelief. I'm still trying to process that. So I understand about loss. That's been my biggest loss in my life to this point. You know, I lost my grandfather several years ago, and that was a huge. But this, because she was like a second mother to me in reality, tore me up so much to where my mind just blocked it off. Like it just literally disconnected, and I haven't even thought about it, processed it, talked about it, cried about it, nothing. And I know eventually it will happen. I understand the 5 stages of loss, but I ain't there yet. Okay, not there yet. Anyhow, I say that to say, I understand about loss. I understand about being sick. I've had my share of that. I understand about a lot of things that people are dealing with right now. Being homeless. Maybe one day I'll tell that story. I've been homeless. That's pregnant and homeless. Okay. Been through quite a bit in my life. I'm barely getting ready to hit the, you know, I'm not going to tell y'all. Know that y'all keep guessing, but I probably, well, I'm kind of juicy right now, but normally I look younger than what I actually am. Okay. I just have a almost 21-year-old daughter, and I was married and grown when I had her. Okay, we'll just say that. I was young, but I was married and grown. I was over 18. Okay, so I know it's hard right now. I know things are tough right now. Keep pressing, keep going, keep moving, keep dreaming, keep loving, keep wanting, keep being thankful. Be resilient, stay strong, hold your head up. Don't be prideful, don't be ashamed. If you need help, go get it. 211 is a great number to call if you need help. I don't know if it's the same across all the states, but I know that's the number in California. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know, because yep, I sure have called it, especially back when I was a single mama after being divorced and being a single mother. There were plenty of times I called 211 to get me some resources on things that I needed help with. No shame in my game, okay? Don't be ashamed to reach out and get help if you need help. Okay, there's plenty of organizations out there that are willing to help. And we know the need is great because so many people have lost their jobs. But so many people are so ashamed to get help. I do not understand that. For me, there is no shame when it comes to the safety and or the happiness of my children. There's absolutely none. I have no pride. None. I have no pride. Okay? If I had a baby needed some milk, and I didn't have no money for milk, and I wasn't nursing the baby, I promise you I would go to a church and ask to get some milk. Promise you. Okay? Don't ever be ashamed to need help, because guess what? None of us came here wiping our own butt. So it's amazing to me when people say, oh, I do for myself. Oh, I take care of myself. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Excuse me? We all came here being needy. Now one of us came here feeding ourselves, wiping our own butt, changing our own clothes, moving ourselves around. Now one of us. So we've all been helped. Okay? And until we leave this earth, we're going to all need help. And even after we leave the earth, somebody got to do something with us. Okay? Let's just be real. Anyhow, that's enough of that. You guys, do the best you can with what you got. Stay wrapped in scraps. Stay loving you. Stay loving God. Stay loving life. I will see y'all next time. I'm going to eat my cold Pop-Tart and drink my cold coffee. See y'all next time. Bye.